Welcome to Flat Earth and Other Hot Potatoes. I'm Mark Sargent, and joining us, he's your host, Patricia Steere. All the way from straight from 1969. Were you going to say that?
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Actually, straight from 1963 to you here on the show today. Your year of birth was?
68.
Neither of us make it to 69. Oh, well.
No.
Well, 69, Apollo 11 landed.
Oh my God. Oh, my ribs.
You're killing me.
Yeah.
So since this is episode number 69, this is the 69 show. So
yeah.
There you have it.
Yeah.
Glad to see you.
Nice to see you. You're looking very retro today.
Yes. Very 69. And my, I don't know how to explain this dress, but it's a sort of 69-ish looking dress.
Yeah.
So what's on your shirt?
Oh, this is a tourist shirt that my sister gave me as sort of a joke, where it says Langley, Washington, 98260, and then Whidbey Island. I don't know if you can see everything.
Oh, yeah.
You see it?
Uh-huh.
And because I hadn't been home in some time, hadn't been back to the island in some years. And so
that's when you were living in Colorado?
When I was living in Colorado. And so she gave me this shirt. And this is what a lot of tourists buy when they're on their way, your standard T-shirt.
Because you're the ferry and all of that?
Yeah, you can get these different places around the island, but yeah, the ferry, and you pick up some Loganberry liqueur and some salmon, stuff like that.
Didn't you give Loganberry liqueur to Sasha Orphan Red when she came to visit?
I did. You're absolutely right. I did give some Loganberry liqueur to her because it's the island delicacy.
Ah, I see.
So yeah.
Yeah. Hey, I see you wielding your laser thermometer.
Yep.
Look what I've got. I've got mine. As you can see, it's
but yours is still in the package, like most of her DVDs.
No, well, of course they're in their package, but they've been opened. Not all have been watched.
Yeah, I don't believe you when you say things.
Maybe I'll open this here.
You should. Well, you're gonna need a pair of scissors to open it.
No, I think mine has special, like that.
It'll just pop open.
Yeah, that pop open thing.
Oh, okay. You're okay then.
Yeah. Anyway, so look, there's Flynn who came to visit. How weird. Hey, Flynn, do you want to play with this laser? This is actually for you guys as well as for a Moonlight test.
Yeah, because not only are they great for Moonlight tests, but animals completely enjoy them. There was a video I watched, and just about any animal will chase it. Raccoons, chickens, ducks, dogs, horses. Everyone will chase it. Yeah, I watched a horse chase this thing around because it looks like a really shiny, if it's a red one, a shiny red bug. That's if anyone's seen a laser up close, it looks like it's alive, and animals are just fascinated. Cats just go berserk.
Well, they're looking forward to it. They're actually being a bit unwieldy today. There we go. There goes Flynn. They come right next to where this microphone is here. Yeah. There is my printer, and Rory is sitting on the printer, and that's fine. Yeah. Sometimes they accidentally turn it on, which makes noise. Yeah. But if there's 2 or 3, I have 3 total up here, they can get in. I'm always afraid they're going to knock the microphone off or jump on top of the screen and knock us off the air. I mean, on top of the keyboard of my MacBook Pro where I'm doing.
I want to know how you got the budget for 3 green screen cats. That's what I want to know.
CGI cats.
Seriously, those things aren't cheap. It's like, oh, I want 3 of them. Yeah, nice going, prima donna.
3 different colors too.
Yeah, exactly. I want an orange cat and I want a black cat. And yeah.
Orange and white one.
Yeah.
I love cats so much. So and you've got Bitsy. Is Bitsy there for viewing today?
No. Bitsy is up at my sister's place. She was born on a farm. She was born in my sister's boat up on her farm. Her mother was, from the woods, a stray cat. And so we take her up there every once in a while to have her run around. So that's kind of fun. And by the way, a fan sent me this. I wanted to show this because I do a radio show, and can't take this
on TFR.
Yeah, on TFR. See that? That is a homemade little astronaut with a reflection of moon or room 237 on the inside, signed by Buzz Aldrin. Not actually signed by Buzz Aldrin. And some stars that were taped to the top. And it's completely sent anonymous. I have no idea who sent this thing, but it's from Bluffdale, Utah. So thank you. Whoever, it didn't come with a card or anything. It was packaged pretty well so that, you know, it was packaged in cardboard. Like it was packaged in this little cardboard thing. Nothing on except this word, enjoy. And some white
anonymous gifting.
Exactly.
A drive-by gifting.
And some white powder, but I kind of brushed that off with my hands.
That was no big deal. You
Yeah.
kind of rushed to the hospital. And
Yeah, I'm a little dizzy right now, but I'm sure it'll be fine.
no problem.
Anyway, so
Why don't you
yeah,
smell that card and, you know, see how it smells up close.
that's probably fine.
Yeah.
I know people. I remember people kept sending me cookies for a while, and my friends were saying, "Don't eat it. Do not eat the cookies." But I wonder if that's what gave me my appendicitis. It was the cookies. I don't know.
Doubt it.
So lots of stuff to talk about, and not as much time.
Yeah, because something happened with the Google Hangout, and I had to start it all over again because of stupid Google Hangouts.
Sorry.
I have a little thing that somebody sent me, and she doesn't want me to use her name. Her name is that she's using is Spectrum Kel. Spectrum Kel. Kelly. I'll just say her first name. Here's what she sent. There's the box with the beautiful cat on it.
Wow.
And she made this herself. Watch. I already opened it, but I'm reopening. She made what she says is the first flat earth necklace. Now, she included a battery for the necklace, which is in the box, so it's not going to actually work. But I told her I'd wear it during the show. It's not going to look good with this outfit. I'll wear it on my next show. I should have planned that better.
Because that's what's important, folks, is that Patricia always looks good at all times.
It just won't work with the
appearance is very, very important.
Here it is. Now with Map-a-geddon going on now and everybody hating on the AE map, this won't be favored by many. But Map-a-geddon.
I've got a letter that I'm going to read on the TFR show where, you know, someone asked me, it's like, is this the map we're kind of using right now, or we're going? It's like, look, if somebody has, like anything, if somebody has a better map, make it.
The one with the portals is cool. I mean, hey, you know, I'm going to do it all.
But there's got to be some sort of consensus. You know, you've got to have at least somewhat of a majority agreeing on it. And you know,
we're still looking. I'm fine living on a flat Earth without a working map because I know it's flat and I know we're not moving.
So
one more look at the necklace from Spectrum Kel.
If the AE map turns into more of an icon, you know, like the UN flag, which is why I still like the UN flag. I mean, it's out there. There's a reason why they used it. Then why aren't we using it until, you know, there's disclosure and we find out something better? Like, could Tiger Dan have been building a better map? We don't know.
Some people are. Spectrum Kel also sent me something else here. And Crystal Dragonfly. Hard to show, but I do want to thank her for this. There we go.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that is cool. And also a card and her name of her company. She also made a necklace for Dr. Judy Wood. You know, where did the towers go? This is her company. And this is the battery she included for the, so I will put that here.
Yes.
Can you read that or is it backwards?
No, I can read it.
Okay, good. Spectrum Kel, that's what she goes by.
Yeah.
And then there's a card. I'll quickly open that. We got to get the meat of the subject here, or the vegan meat in my case, which is flat Earth. She wrote, it looks like a very long letter. And since she doesn't want me to mention her name on the air, I know this is just for me. And this is what she made me as a card.
Oh, neat.
So really nice.
Cool.
She made it for me for my birthday, which was February 5th.
That's great.
And she said, let's hope we live to see truth, justice, and more prevail on Earth. I appreciate your efforts toward that, Miss Steere. Warmest regards, Spectrum Kel.
Right on.
Really cool.
That's
and
great.
That's it.
Yeah.
SpectrumKel@gmail.com if you want to ask her about any necklaces. So, yeah.
I also got a couple other things from listeners, Flat Earth supporters recently. You know about all of them. The first thing I got in fact, it was almost right after the show from last time was I have apps. Flat Earth Clues now has apps.
Explain that.
Well, I Mobilize, IMOBILIZE. The guy that runs that, he asked me if he could make an app for Flat Earth Clues. And I said, fantastic, great, go have at it. So he went and made an app for the iPhones and for Androids and released them separately. The iPhones you can get at iTunes. The app is free. And Android, you can get it at Google Play. And so he built some wonderful little apps. And so download them. If you download them, please rate them if you put them on your machine, because it helps his stuff on his end. But they're absolutely free, and help spread the word. Fantastic. I was really excited about that. So the first Flat Earth apps, as far as I know.
You're all apped up.
I am all apped up. Well, that I had some chocolate before the show. The other thing I got was, and I just released that. Was that this morning? Or was it yesterday? It was yesterday, right?
Yes, the video,
the book,
on your channel. Well, true.
Yeah, where another Flat Earth supporter. Oh crap, I forgot their name.
I have it here.
Boogles.
Boogle.
Booglez. Boogles. Publishing out of the UK over there near London. They made a book. They had contacted me a short time ago, and I've been kind of keeping this under wraps, even from Patricia. And
I didn't know.
I honestly didn't know if it was going to happen. You and I, people talk about a lot of stuff, but until it materializes, it hasn't. And then all of a sudden they said, "Oh yeah, by the way, your book's ready. Here we go." And it was instantly, here we go. We're going to publish a book, and we're going to sell it on Amazon. And there's an electronic version, and there's an audio version coming out. It was like fantastic. That's wonderful. So yes, I am going to get paid for this book. But it's the Flat Earth Clues.
Sell out, shill.
No, shut up. Stupid head. No, I mean they asked. I did not solicit them. I never had any intention of.
You don't even need to make an excuse. I mean, other flat earthers write books and sell them. Big deal.
Yeah, cool. But the point was they came to me. Everybody is like, oh yeah, we'll do a book. In fact, all we need is the transcripts from the Flat Earth Clues, which I had, and then we'll do a Q&A section, pretty big at the end, which I did, and then an intro, and then about the author and all the other bio stuff, and it all came together really, really quickly, and I was super excited about it. So yeah, it's out there. So and it's going through Jaren's link on top of it. So if you use the link that's inside any of inside the video link, then it goes straight to Jaren. Goes through Jaren's Amazon. So he'll get something for it.
So that's on your channel. Check that out.
Yeah, check it out if you get a chance. And really happy. We'll see where it goes. But the audio version should be out. Again, the audio version not very hard, since I narrated the whole thing anyway. So they just grabbed all the audio files, and so I don't have to re-record it. And
that'll be in March, I think, that's coming out, because I have a letter here from Kimberly Barrios, the marketing assistant at Boogles Limited, who let me know about the book as well, which I already knew about. And there's a quote from the editor-in-chief, Lisa Newton. She's a spokesperson for the publishers. And she says that not everybody has internet access. And that's why she wanted to bring Flat Earth Clues and Flat Earth awareness to the public.
Yeah.
Neat.
Yeah. Plus, you can do some fun things with these books, which is, for example, if you know the story very well, then get a copy, and you want to do some clever stuff to spread the word. Get a copy and leave it in like a doctor's office or a dentist's office or anywhere that has a waiting room, and just leave it somewhere, because people, because the artwork, you've seen the artwork, it's very friendly artwork, almost to the level of a child. And you're reading it, and at first, when you look at it, when you're looking at the artwork, it's like, oh, it must be a parody book. It's not really a Flat Earth. It's like a fairy tale about Flat Earth. But no, it's actually the full-blown Flat Earth Clues. And it'd be kind of interesting to see where these books travel and where they end up going.
I'm stocking stuffer as well. Hold on a minute. My cats are knocking down all of the Spectrum Cal gift wrapping items, because I'm betting Spectrum Cal, who sent the jewelry, has a cat. There must be some smell on these things. So you keep talking, and I've got to put this stuff away, because there will be a cat.
Okay.
Vaster in a minute.
So yeah, where it's a little early for Christmas, anything like that. But it's you want to do a great little intro. You want to know how to get people into Flat Earth? Pick up the gateway drug, which is Flat Earth Clues, and just give it to them, as a gift, or think of it like a gag gift. Put it in anything. It's a wonderful little intro to, I'll be the first one to say, look, I didn't create the flat Earth movement, but what I did do is make it accessible. And for anyone that's out there that wants to hit their friends and put something tangible in their hands where they like look at it, it's like, oh, then they put it down the coffee table and then they end up picking it back up later. I think it'll work. So cross my fingers, but thank you very much to Boogles and their publishing house out there in the UK. Wonderful. I can't thank you enough for doing that. And yeah, that's all I got to say about that.
All right, I'm back.
Okay.
Sorry, hold on.
It's all right. I can't stall for the cats any longer.
Oh, wow. That must have been in that paper, the wrapping paper and card there. Something smelled cat-like, I think, to them. And maybe I didn't remove the box with the cat on it.
The other announcement, you might as well make that one because we're going to have to tell people sooner
I don't
or later.
know. I think you need...
You want me to do it?
Yeah, I just want to put it all on you.
All right, fine. Patricia and I will eventually be moving the show to a brand new internet podcast radio station thing. And it's going to be called, if I'm not mistaken, theflatearthshow.com or .net. It's the Flat Earth Show Network. So yes. It's going to be similar to other networks that are out there, but it's going to be dedicated to flat Earth and flat Earth related tangents. And we're going to be going over there. In fact, we're going to be doing a daily show there. The Flat Earth and Other Hot Potatoes is going to be going over there, and other things and other people. We're not going to say who. And it should be a lot of fun, but it's going to be a subscription service. You can listen to it free, of course. We'll be as transparent as we can here. You can listen to it free if it's live. If you want the access to the archives, like any other subscription service, you got to pay a monthly fee, but it's very small. And
something like $5, maybe.
Yeah, like $5 a month, something like that. Yeah. $4.99 or whatever they charge. I'm not even sure. The producer is taking care of that. But we were approached. Again, it's not something we were just like, we weren't sending out letters to people saying let's do this. We were approached and told, yeah, let's do this. So maybe it was because the Art Bell thing collapsed, and it's like, okay, who's the new people coming in doing this, and we seemed like the natural choice. So. Go us. Why not? Right?
I think it'll be fun.
Yeah, I think it'll be a lot of fun, but it'd be daily on top of it. So if you guys can't get enough of us, we're going to be doing this every day.
And if you hate us, sorry.
Yeah, if you hate us, you're going to be hating us every day. But the haters don't have to, there's not much you can do for the haters.
Just don't watch, which is what I always encourage anyone who dislikes things not to do.
Yeah.
Don't purchase it. Don't watch it. Don't participate in it.
It was the natural evolution of things where, look, you've done, I mean, this is what, episode 69. I've done 40. Tomorrow will be my 45th episode of Strange World, which I'm still going to be doing for a while, at least until I can figure out what's going on, what sort of load this is going to put on me. And
we don't really know how long this will be here on YouTube. It's all going to go over to this network. It's a radio station, kind of, and there will be a video component, I think. Well, it's kind of up in the air with all of that now.
Yeah.
And we're not exactly sure when it may happen. It may be
pretty soon,
next month, maybe.
Yeah. So they're building it as we speak.
They're building this kind of just for us in a way. Does that sound crazy?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, could it get any nuttier? Oh, you bet it can. We'll see how much nuttier.
That's good for people to know, because they probably would be wondering if we're joining some kind of radio mainstream group that's like owned by the people that are involved with like Alex Jones or ABC or NBC or CBS.
No, this is our own.
Nothing like that.
Independent production, and we'll see how it goes. If it works, it works. Fantastic. We'd love to have everyone, join us on this journey that we're taking, and just crossing our fingers. I mean, this thing keeps rolling along. New players every day, new videos.
A whole radio station just for Flat Earth. I mean, that's progress, and not mainstream. It's not mainstream like owned by Clear Channel or any of those people who own radio conglomerates who control the information and make you run certain commercials or make you talk about I don't know what Obama's doing, and it's nothing like that. It's not mainstream at all. So
Yeah. By the way, did you see the new debunker? You know, the one with they had two channels. I can't remember their name. Those two guys, both with glasses. One tall guy, kind of blondish. The other guy, dark hair. Remember, I sent you those. One of their stations had like 9 or 10 million. The other had like 3 million.
I can't recall their name. I did comment on the video nicely, of course, but so
yeah.
that their subscribers could potentially start looking into flat Earth. You know, that truth bomb thing that we all can do as flat earthers. Make a really nice comment without profanity, with good information, clear, talking about, hey, you guys, you know, instead of laughing at flat Earth, look into it.
Yeah, and they all say, every one of these big subscriber things, channels, they all say the same thing, which is so many emails have been coming our way saying, you got to cover this, you got to cover this, you got to cover this. And eventually they do. Eventually they cave in, not knowing what. And the one guy, the shorter guy with the glasses, his response was pretty typical, which was he was just going to respond to it without even looking into it. You know, without even going down the path of the flat Earth. It's like, it's obvious the flat Earth is stupid, and here's why. You know, looking at the science side only, you could tell he just Googled something along the lines of 10 reasons you know why the Earth is round, and that was his argument. But the other guy looked pretty nervous for a while there on one of his other channels, because it's a tough topic, because people are so worked up about it. You know, they're so enthusiastic. I mean, you and I we've gotten past the super enthusiastic stage, but you know, the new people that come on board, there's like, flat Earth, you know, why don't you believe? They're shaking people in the streets. They don't get it. It's like, it is like They Live, the movie, you know, where it's like, you know, just look at it. And a lot of people don't, but it's
so true. I always say all somebody needs to do is look at it. I don't mean glance. I mean look. Give it a good, hard, long, lingering look. And
try
you can't deny it.
No. Oh, hey, by the way, there was a side project I'm going to tell you about in advance, because it's going to happen. I almost guarantee it. And that is Flat Earth Clues is going to be, I mean, it's been translated into text-wise into a whole bunch of languages already, but it's going to be narrated in French.
Oh, nice.
So, and you know the person.
Is there a Braille one yet?
The what?
Is there a Braille Flat Earth Clues yet?
There is. I don't think there's a Braille one yet, but no, it's an audio version. There's an English audio version, so you don't have to. Doesn't have to be Braille. So you don't need to have Braille. Well, but if the book gets translated into Braille, sure. Yeah, the book may get translated, but there's going to be a French version. So in fact, the person that's going to be doing it, I've already created a separate Flat Earth Clues series of videos with no audio on them. And so...
does she happen to have red hair, this particular woman who speaks French?
She might be attending your panel this Wednesday for Ginger Fest, otherwise known as GingerCon, also known as...
Gingerpalooza?
Gingerpalooza.
Wednesday, by the way, at 5 p.m. Central Time. And it's a number of women in Flat Earth who have red hair gathering together to talk seriously about Flat Earth. It's got a funny name, GingerCon, but we're some women with very strong opinions about Flat Earth and what's going on and what shouldn't be going on, and maybe what could potentially go on to make things better. So we're all going to gather together Wednesday on this channel, and it's called GingerCon, and I invite you to join us. I'm sure there's men with red hair in Flat Earth, but I don't know any. Maybe I do, I just didn't notice. Yeah. Well, let's just go to Q&A here.
Sure.
And our first comment comes from Bob of Globebusters, who writes, you do realize that Mark's going to catch heck because of the Langley on his shirt, right? Langley, Virginia.
Langley, Virginia. Yeah, this is what we wear at the agency. Yeah. This is actually an official CIA shirt. You just can't see it close enough here. But that's actually a good point, because the only other Langley I know of is Langley, Virginia. Nice, Bob. Thanks. Thank you, Bob. That's great. Yeah. By the way, Bob, we got to talk. I know I got your message. So yeah, Skype me. Just shoot me a chat in Skype, and we'll talk.
I had a great interview with Bob. My last show I did, which was episode number 68 on Flat Earth and Other Hot Potatoes. Bob, everybody loves Bob. It's just everybody loves him.
Good guy, Bob.
A lot of people were saying that he kind of looks like Rob Skiba.
A slightly grayer version of Rob Skiba.
Yeah,
a little bit. I mean, they could be related.
Yeah.
They can be related. Sure. Sure. I go with that.
All right. So thank you, Bob, for that. He puts a smiley face and said he just had to point that out. Sorry.
Thank
Joking,
you.
of course.
Thank you. Add, yeah, just throw more fuel in the fire there, Bob. It's great. I'm not going to catch enough crap about my app and my book and the radio show.
And the radio show. Just might as well burn you as a witch right now,
right?
In fact, point that laser at yourself and just set yourself on fire. All right. Wilson Phillips. Hey, there's a band called Wilson Phillips, or there used to be in the 80s or 90s. It says, I'm a Windows phone guy too. Because we were talking about phones.
Right. Well, maybe? It is for unfortunately, I do not know. Remember, my very first cell phone I got this year or last in 2015. So
that's what happens when you live cut off on an island. You don't know about these modern newfangled things.
No, it's because I don't know. Look, it's because I'm not a huge fan of cell phones because of the whole texting thing. I avoided smartphones because I saw that, and I'm not blaming the technology people, but people tend to follow the easiest path, the laziest path. And so, I've just seen too many kids that don't talk anymore. All they do is text.
Mm-hmm. You go anywhere and just look around and people are sitting next to each other, but they're on their phones texting.
Yeah.
And I've done it too.
You and I are old enough to remember. I mean, I don't know where your parents would
people had real conversations. Oh yeah.
Well, no, not just that, but I mean, your parents would get mad. It's like, get off the phone, get off. Stop tying up the line. Phrases you're never going to hear again. And now, it's just dead silence. It used to be you could catch your kid talking on the phone because, you go to the other extension and stuff, because they'd be underneath the bed talking. But now, you have
Patty's
no idea.
Going to meet a boy.
Exactly.
Hang up the phone real quiet, and you're like, Mom, is that you?
Yeah, exactly. You or Dad would pick up the phone and he'd go, "Get off the phone, Becky." Tell your boyfriend good night, Becky. Dad, that's so embarrassing.
Totally happened to me. I had a phone on an extension cord, a very long cord that was in the hallway that my mom had put right outside my bedroom. She wouldn't allow me to have it in the bedroom. Yeah. That way she'd know I was on the phone. Yeah. And so I would go, I put a long extension cord on it, which worked really great.
Yeah.
Put it under the door.
Nice. Yeah. My sister and I had a dedicated line. Mostly because of my sister, because she was always, checking out. She wanted to know where her boyfriends were at all times.
Boyfriends with an S. Huh?
Well, no, what I mean is every boy. No, she only had one at a time, but she was never without a boyfriend.
She was popular.
Very popular. Cheerleading captain. I think I told you she was Regina George from Mean Girls. Pretty much. She was that girl. That she evil, awful. Didn't look it, but she was evil. Anyway, sorry. What else we got?
Up next on Q&A, it's from Mr. Rich B.O.B. and he's chiding others in Q&A and says to them, no trash comments. Q&A is for asking questions and hooking Mark up with both George Clooney and Pat Steere only.
Okay. I'm impressed that he remembers the George Clooney thing.
Yes.
But no.
Those who were not in the know, it was an inside joke about Mark and George
Clooney, yeah. Although George is a little older than me.
Yeah, well, older men.
Ryan Reynolds is also another guy who's really, I don't admire a lot of guys, but I admire, there's certain guys that I think really got their act together. I think Ryan Reynolds is one of them, and George Clooney, and of course Tom Selleck, who.
Tom Selleck.
Yeah, who's still just. I mean, he'll literally have roles until he's kind of like the Raquel Welch version on the guy side, in my opinion. True. He could have roles for forever. Did I ever tell you the fun Tom Selleck story?
Sean Connery is the same thing too.
Sean Connery is, although he's getting up there. Tom Selleck had, aside from the Magnum PI thing that he turned down Indiana Jones and all that other crap, and on top of being 6'5" and an amazing athlete, professional volleyball, we could have gone that route. The coolest thing that I liked about him was he had an eccentric side, and that was because he wore, most people don't know this, I don't know if I told you this, because he wore in Magnum PI that Detroit Tigers hat, right? Mm-hmm. He
I
had.
lived in Michigan, so it was kind of popular around my house
There you go.
to watch that.
Well, yeah, if you're a woman and in the late 70s, early 80s, you were going to watch that show. I mean, that's just the show you watch. That was your guilty pleasure show. Oh, I'm just going to watch Magnum. You go to sleep, honey. And then you'd be like, women just be locked in. It's like, how do men like that exist?
And I don't even like Hawaiian shirts, but he pulls it off.
Like, for example, I thought that Ferrari that he drove, that 308 GTS or whatever it was, I thought that was a really small car because he was so freaking big in it. And I was going, wow, I didn't really. And he's 6'5". That's why the car looks so small. Wow. He was like just squeezing into that thing. But the cool thing he did was, because he wore that Detroit Tigers hat, the Detroit Tigers were so appreciative of it that they gave him basically lifetime tickets. He could go to any Detroit Tigers game ever he wanted, right? But it wasn't just that, right? So I was watching this game, and I think it was like the Atlanta Braves versus Detroit. And all of a sudden, the announcer is going, oh, we got a little break in the action. Let's go see if we can find Tom Selleck. I'm going, how are you going to find Tom Selleck? And, the stands, you're really just going to start looking around. And they go to the dugout. And I'll be darned. You know what he did on a regular basis? He'd shave his mustache, put on a full-blown uniform, and sit in the dugout and eat sunflower seeds and sit next to these guys. And nobody knew except the players. It was like this inside joke that because he was a big guy, and so he looked just like the other baseball players. That's what he did. I thought that was so fun.
That is a cool story.
Yeah.
Why not?
And why not? Yeah, I'm just going to fly to Detroit, go to the game. I mean, it's not just you go to the game, you suit up and just sit in the dugout and talk to the guys. How fun.
Yeah, it's really fun.
Yeah. Anyway, that was my little story.
A.E. Soliana says that they have 9 CGI cats. So they taught me by 6.
Nice.
9 CGI cats. That's a lot.
That's great.
Marcus Marcus King writes, my grandma had a poster of Magnum PI in her kitchen. Nobody was allowed to stand in front of it.
Yeah, I heard a rumor, and you can read this on Wiki, that because he was a guest. Remember when Friends was out? He was dating. Oh, geez, not in real life. He was dating. Who was the brunette, the actress that played the brunette?
Courtney Cox.
Courtney Cox. So in the show, he was dating Courtney Cox, and apparently every time he was introduced, when the actor would first come on set, because it was all recording, the women just went so freaking berserk that eventually they had to stop doing live studio audiences when he came on. They could not do a live studio audience when he came on because the women were just, I know, mostly older women, but still, yeah, interesting guy.
Wilson Phillips says CGI cats don't get hair in your printer, which is perhaps true. Rory is shedding on my printer as we speak.
Nice. Oh, by the way,
go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. Read that one.
I'll read it. Ravenlock says no Flat Earth app love for Windows Phone.
Why does he keep saying that? So is Windows, you have to forgive me because even though I'm a tech guy, I don't know a lot about phones. So is Windows Phone different from Android phone? I'm guessing it is. So is a Windows phone, does that run on T-Mobile? Is it a carrier thing, or is it just like a Windows phone? Do you want
I've got an iPhone.
I've got an iPhone too. So ask him, does he want a Windows phone app? Because I think it can be made. If that's what he's it's not that there's no love. These were just
Wilson
the first.
Phillips and Ravenlocks are saying, and maybe one of those two is, and I just don't get it.
All right. Well, I'll see if iMobilize will make an app for Windows. Do a lot of people have Windows phones? I know that.
Didn't know they existed until this very moment.
I know. See, they're dead.
So I feel really dumb.
I do the carriers. I know that there's Verizon and T-Mobile. And there's 2 others. Crap. Who do you have? Do you have Verizon?
Sprint. I've got Sprint.
Sprint. And there's one more that nobody cares about. Anyway. Oh, by the way, did you see David Weiss's latest video? The one where the lady's taking the shower?
No, I didn't see that one. It must have just come out.
Oh my Lord. He again, we're finding new stuff every day. The woman that's taking the shower in the ISS. And what they did was they do these little flashes, kind of like flash edits.
Oh, it wasn't a shower. She was a blonde with longish, dirty blonde hair.
She was in the bathroom trying to show how she washed her hair.
Right. Exactly.
he was timing it between the flashes, and nothing was, I think, over 20 seconds. And they were real careful about it. And it was like, of course, because in that sort of shot, you'd have to, the editing would be so difficult on a continuous loop. The only way, you couldn't just do one flash every once in a while. You'd have to do continuous flashes, but you make it look deliberate.
I never noticed it when I watched those things before.
I know, and I told him, I'd watched that one where she was showing how she washed her hair probably a dozen times. Never even occurred to me. So
never saw those flashes until David brought it to our attention.
David's getting way better at detecting stuff. He's getting up towards Max Malone level. So that's good stuff.
Yes, indeed. Yeah. All right. Well, here's Greer the cat who was biting my ankles, trying to be held up here for people to see. So she's a female. She's out here. Go, don't bite my feet. She's weird because she'll bite, not hard, just like nibble to get my attention. They're going to be a year old in March, and I actually got them in May, when they were weaned. So they're loves. All right. Up next, we've got this from JL Forbes, who is one of the redheads, who's going to be on Gingerfest come Wednesday. And she says, have you guys contacted or gotten a hold of B.O.B.? Is he truly on board with this? And is he willing to do interviews? Any other mainstream news this week? Good Mythical Morning, a YouTube show, mentioned Flat Earth last week or 2 weeks ago.
That's who it was.
That's who it was. We couldn't think of the name.
Good Mythical Morning. And their other channel, which is Good Mythical More.
Yes.
Like bonus material. Really? That's
I'd never heard of that show either, out of the loop on those sorts of things. Yeah. But yes, I did make a comment on that channel after they made that video. A nice one. But
B.O.B.'s not talking to anybody.
No, I tried. I tried when the whole thing broke.
Everybody, I think, tried. And again, that also is suspect because, I mean, his agent, you can't buy publicity that he generated. Every mainstream outlet ever, everywhere, we're covering this thing, and I'm sure his phone was ringing off the hook. So why not pick up the phone? You could cherry pick the whole thing, and he didn't. He didn't do a single. I mean, even Neil deGrasse Tyson showed up on radio shows and television shows.
Mostly talking about cloning. Seems like that's where he's focusing now.
So the question is, who's going to be coming forward? Who's the next person? In fact, they just reran. You probably saw the Guardian shot. The mainstream story I sent you was the Guardian or the Daily Mall, or
were they? Sun. I don't know. It was one of those.
No. Yeah, but where they had Tila and B.O.B. in the same frame, and they were showing a lot of partially nude shots of her, and trying to generate some buzz. So
trashy buzz.
By the way, did you see my Jimmy Church thing finally went up today?
Yes, I did. You did that interview several months ago, and you did it live. Yeah, I listened to it live, and then he wouldn't let you have a copy, so you could put it on your channel till today.
Yeah. Watch him copyright strike me. Watch him it's like
no
2 months
way.
later. No, yeah, it wouldn't surprise me, but it's like, dude, it's like you did it. Why? What took you so long? Get the thing out there.
Can't copyright strike you. That would be immoral.
That would be wrong. So
that would never stop anybody from hurting another human being. Morality
and he'd be the only one out of anybody that's probably not. The only person that made me sign anything was Coast to Coast, and I actually held to that, where Coast to Coast didn't want me to put it on my anywhere. So I put a link to somebody that just ripped it and put it up.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
All right. So JL Forbes, thank you for the question. We've tried to get a hold of B.O.B., myself and many others. I follow him on Twitter, and I've tweeted him and no reply. I believe he did reply to Orphan Red Sasha at one point in the very beginning of this whole thing.
The woman,
I don't know.
The woman has skills.
She does. So, and Orphan Red is also going to be on the Gingerfest show this coming Wednesday at 5 p.m. Central.
She's going to be a therapist, by the way, eventually.
I think she'd be a fantastic therapist.
Yeah.
And she also would be really good working with children, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. She could honestly, she could get a job at Disney right now reading stories to children.
Up next, Humana story. Brian writes, how can an airplane like the Rutan Model 76 Voyager fly without refueling or stopping in straight course and end up right where it started if the Earth is not a sphere? It's been done many times now. That might not be real Humana story. Doesn't sound like the way you speak.
I don't think that's real Humana story. And why would he? Yeah. Show me the route. Oh, I'm sorry. Wait. Show me the coordinates when that plane's flying. Because the latitude and longitude drop off and they don't exist. So tell me the magical route that plane's taking.
That was somebody co-opting another YouTuber's name. I know who that somebody is, and many of us do.
Yeah.
Wilson Phillips says that Microsoft bought out Nokia. Okay.
So they're running Nokia's phones now?
Maybe.
Kind of late to the game. But
Jordan Rains writes, Patricia, did you and Mark see the photos of the Orthodox Russian priest meeting with the Pope and then going to Antarctica? What was that all about?
That was very interesting.
I'm going to let you answer it, and I've got to put Greer, because she's just going to jump on this computer screen in a minute. Go ahead.
Okay. Was it priests, right? Catholic priests? So yes. The Pope met with a high-ranking priest down in, I think it was Cuba, and it was the first time the Pope had met with this particular guy in like 1,000 years. And then right after that, and I thought it was rumor at first, right after that, they this particular guy from Cuba goes down to Antarctica like the very next day, and goes down to there's only one church in all of Antarctica, from what they say. It's this tiny little structure. And he went down there, and they filmed him, with some penguins and doing some other stuff, not just snapshots, but some video as well. And it was very interesting. Rob Skiba did a 20-30 minute video on it. So check out Rob Skiba's channel, where he covered basically the whole thing, because from a religious angle, it's intriguing. Nobody saw this coming, and we're trying to figure out what's going on. Why? What did the Pope tell him that all of a sudden he made this trip down to Antarctica? Did he really just spend all his time in that little church, or did he go somewhere else? What else did he see? Was he carrying anything with him? We don't know, but it was intriguing, suspicious at the very least.
Yes, I'm back. Made it.
Yeah.
All right. So thank you very much for that question, Jordan. Mr. Rich B.O.B., and by the way, any of these could potentially be not Mr. Rich B.O.B., could be a troll. I'll read the question anyway, and we'll figure it out ourselves. What video games have you produced? And I know the answer to that.
Oh, yeah. Ahead. No, I don't mind. Say, look, the company was called Star Play Productions. They were formed in Boulder, Colorado, by Scott and Mary Mesh, great people. And they initially had one developer, which was Little Wing Pinball, and they did Crystal Caliburn, Looney Labyrinth. I won the Crystal Caliburn tournament in the first year, then helped with the testing on Looney Labyrinth. And then we got developers to do Shadow Wraith, Souls in the System. Also got the developer to do Alley 19 Bowling. That did very well. And then the Games of Fame series. And I was involved in just about every aspect of those games except for the coding. In fact, the guy that wrote Shadow Wraith and Souls of the System, he lived with me while, just to make sure we got everything deadline-wise taken care of. I felt bad because we basically flunked him out of Boston College and drug him over to Colorado to do it. But it was a lot of fun. And his name was Ravi, great guy. And Ed Bremen, interesting story. I got a story for you. A little name drop.
Also, I want to talk a little bit about pinball, because I read some accusation on somebody's page. I don't even remember whose. No, somebody sent me an email about it. It doesn't matter. That they said that you didn't really win a pinball championship. That I didn't win the tournament, or that trophy up there's fake.
No, I won the tournament the first year in '94. They were probably looking at the score sheets from '95, because what happened was I started playing the '95 tournament. And by that time, StarPlay had already hired me. And then they realize, as I'm there, it's like, well, you can't keep going in the tournament, because you're working for us. There's a conflict of interest there. So they pulled me out, and they made a little announcement, said Mark Sargent is now working with us on staff. And,
Okay, so the tournament is a lengthy thing. It's not just one day. And so whatever your score was there, that's just where it stayed?
Well, yeah. Oh, yeah, because the internet, everything sticks. So the '94 tournament, that was a complete thing, because the tournament runs for a whole year.
Oh, yeah. Somebody's writing here, the Flat Earth Reality says 28th place instead of first.
Yes, 28th place.
So you were 28th place in what year?
95. So when they pulled me out of the tournament, I was in 28th, working my way up the ranks. But that was, I think, the last I could even play at that point.
And so, what was the year that you won first place, and how can somebody see proof of that? Because
Oh,
people think you're lying for whatever reason.
94. You can look up. In fact, the book I should open it up. It's in a case. Look up the Twin Galaxies World Record Book of Computer Games and Video Games. Guinness Book of World Computer Records. Twin Galaxies. It's in there somewhere. You have to sign up as a member of their site. It doesn't cost anything, but you could see in there. In fact, I had to do the reason why I'm in there. In fact, I'm on Twin Galaxies. Is because when I won the tournament, it was the first year they were putting out that book, which I think was 98. And they wanted people to do book signings. So they called me up out of the blue and said, hey, would you be willing to, they called Star Play up, and Star Play said, oh yeah, call Mark Sargent. He won this tournament. So I had to do a book signing down at Barnes & Noble in Denver in 98 for this Book of World Records.
So the year that you won the tournament was?
94.
And the year that you went into 28th place because they pulled you out in the middle of the tournament because you actually work for the company and you no longer would be eligible was?
95.
And what place were you in on that one?
28th. I mean, but that was what, month 3, month 4? I don't even know what month it was.
How long is a tournament?
A year. A full-blown calendar year.
Oh, I see what you're saying then.
So, which is why, remember, I think I confided in you, but I've told other people in different interviews, where the reason why I won the tournament in 94 was I figured out the algorithm for turning in the scores. So, because a year is a long time to play a tournament. That's a lot of playing. Even if it's in your spare time, because I was cooking, I was a sous chef when I was doing this, and I figured out that it was based on the date timestamp. So all I did was I got scores, and then if they were really, really good, because I was basically playing it, once I got into the top 10, a lot of these scores I would have to throw away, and it was a shame. So what I did was I got the score, and then I changed the date timestamp, and then saved the scores months ahead. So I basically won the tournament 6 months in advance, but they didn't know that. They didn't, and I never.
Well, somebody could say that's cheating, but
it's not cheating. No, I still got the scores, but I wasn't going to make it a horse race. My rival from China, he was very, very good, and I was not going to get into a long, drawn-out horse race. So basically, I knew he was going to get complacent. Video game players usually are, and so I waited because I knew what his high score was. So I made sure I got a score that was better than him, and then I turned. It was kind of like an eBay bid, and then I put it in at the last.
Oh, I see. I understand now. So it's not cheating.
No. Well, it probably was a little, it wasn't, let's put it this way.
It's like bidding on eBay and waiting till the last minute to put the bid in. Yeah. It's not cheating. Some might call it like sneaky or something.
Strategic is what it was.
I've won stuff on eBay waiting like the last 5 seconds and put my bid in one. I didn't feel like I was cheating anybody.
No, but again, he shouldn't have stopped playing. It happens all the time with players. That is, they get up to number 1 and then they don't keep playing. They don't keep trying to best their best. And he didn't do it. And so by the time he realized what was going on, he had nothing.
And I know the trophy is right behind you.
Yeah, it's a real trophy. I mean, it's again, look up in the Twin Galaxies. Somebody can find a copy of the book. I'll show it next show. But I'm on page 262. It's me holding the trophy. And
what's the name of the book again? Twin Galaxies.
Twin Galaxies World Records of Video Game World Record something.
All right, we'll show it next secret show.
Next show.
I don't want to bore people, but I mean, people are out here.
The Twin Galaxies. The Twin Galaxies website's still out there. You can find me. Just look up my name in it. You'll find it.
People are making videos saying you lied about winning a pinball tournament in the 90s. So the thing is that since it's come up in questions, that's the reason I'm bringing it up. To me, it's really unimportant. But yet, if you lie, that means you're a liar and means you lie about everything. I get people's point on this.
Yeah, I get it. No, I really, really did win the tournament. Not lying. So,
all right, David Weiss of Deep Inside the Rabbit Hole just made a comment, and it is: how is it possible anyone still believes in NASA or that we live on a ball? I just watched the 1-hour Odd TV video. It's outstanding, by the way. I just landed in New York, and unfortunately, I couldn't find the curve. If anyone could find the curve, he could.
Odd TV. That video of his is tracking extremely well. It's up at words of 470,000 hits, which is great. Good for him. I mean, he started out, he had a lot of other videos before he got into this, and he still isn't full blown. He isn't dedicated to Flat Earth, but he should be after the hits he's getting. So It's good stuff. And quite a bit of it's a compilation, but it's a nice compilation, what he did.
J.L. Forbes asks, what's the name of your book? The Flat Earth Clues?
Flat Earth Clues, and the title below is called The Sky's the Limit.
Oh, Sky's the Limit. Okay.
Yeah. And,
wow, that's interesting because of the dome aspect.
See what we did there? Sky's the limit. Yeah. I didn't actually come up with it. The sky's the limit's an old saying, but right. I commented on it in a letter where I said, "Wow, that completely gives it new meaning, doesn't it?" And actually, where does that saying come from? The sky's the limit.
Yeah, I know. That's a good one.
Why would the sky be the limit?
There are books with the etymology of sayings, but that's got to be, what does that mean?
Yeah, the sky's the limit.
Was that something made up before quote unquote space flight supposedly happened?
Maybe, where it's like, oh well, as high as you can go. I think that's what they mean. As high.
Funny enough,
it's a
they
positive.
were right.
Yeah, go figure. Well, the sky is actually the limit. So now it's not as positive a thing.
Exactly. Marcus King writes, I know you both saw the episode of quote stuff they don't want you to know unquote today, the video. Yeah. He says, it just disappeared.
Yeah, the guy with 400,000 hits, and I commented on it.
So did I.
He was trying to be as neutral as he could.
Yeah, he wrote nice professionalism from both of you, meaning the comments that we made. Did you notice how many people in the comments hadn't the slightest clue about what the flat Earth concept is about?
Yeah.
And do you think we did any good by doing a kind of truth bomb like that?
Yeah, it's spreading in a way, and I've been trying to come up with a new concept for it, and I've kind of been toying with the idea of a soft viral concept versus a topic versus a hard viral topic. And so, like, soft viral would be, let's say, if Katy Perry backhands one of her backup dancers, right? People talk about it, but it's nothing. Yes. It's like, yeah, fine. It went viral. Oh, did you see that? We actually have video, but it lasts about 2 seconds and it doesn't really affect anything. Whereas this, it's actually viral in a sense where the media use it all the time. It's like, oh, it went viral. No, this has the earmarks of being viral because it's actually got viral qualities to it from a medical standpoint, meaning, I find out about this idea, the whole flat Earth, and I get real frustrated. And it's like, man, which is what I actually did. And I said, look, I don't think anybody can cure this, right? If you treat it like that, it's like, man, this flat Earth thing, it's really weird, and it's changing everything in my head. I don't think I can cure this. Can you cure this? And I give it to you, right? And then, if you look at it, you run into the same situation. If you actually look at it, it's like, oh man, I can't.
In the beginning, I might say, I got this. This is crazy. I'll debunk this in a day. And I start looking at it, laughing, and then I'm like, oh no.
Yeah.
And then I ask somebody else.
Yeah, because you lose. If everyone gets overconfident in the beginning, they say, I can knock this thing out. Flat Earth is silly. Like I did. I can knock this thing out. And then after a while, it's like, holy, I must be losing it. There's no way. I must be missing something. So you give it to somebody else, or somebody else looks at you and says, dude, I can totally solve this. And that's how it spreads, because once you're in, you're in. You can't, not to steal from the Matrix thing anymore, but it's true. You can't go back. How can you go back once? And so you just keep passing it off to more and more people. It's like we're trying to send it up the chain saying, can anyone discredit flat Earth? Can anyone do it? Which is why I got such great confirmation from Brian Dunning during that debate when he said, from a scientific standpoint, there's nothing on the ground we can do to debunk this. Nothing. It cannot be done. You can throw up math and shadows and curvature all you want, but that doesn't prove it until, unless you have someone that can, from a space organization that can lock it down for you. And
they can't.
They can't. There's nothing they can do. Everyone treats it the same way that I did, and that was everyone assumes that the space organizations can't. That's where we fall into trouble, because everyone says, well, NASA can solve this for us. What do you got, NASA? And then you hear crickets on the other side. It's like, guys, are you there? Anybody? And no, they got nothing.
Too busy with bubbles on the fake ISS.
And talking, oh, by the way, did you see that news story? You probably didn't. Where the moon base is now not going to happen, and so they're just going to move. They're going to make a bigger ISS that's going to.
I heard SpaceX has scrapped another whole.
Yeah.
They scrapped it. So wait a minute. So now they're not going to do. NASA's not doing a moon base. Well, of course they were never going to in the first place.
No.
What's the reason?
They didn't say. But now they're going to do, maybe it's a money issue. Now they're going to do, they're saying, okay, we're just going to do an orbiting thing around the moon, like an ISS that's around the moon this time. We're going to abandon the current ISS. No, you're not, because 3 or 4 months from now, you're going to abandon that plan. And Congress is already, there's already members of Congress that are talking about it, saying, look, you can't afford Mars.
Well,
so why do you keep talking about Mars?
They could pull off the fake orbit of the moon a lot easier than they could fake a base on the moon easily, because it would just be like another sort of ISS.
Yes, they could, but people are going to be looking at at whatever that thing is. Is it going to be geosynchronous? Is it going to be going around the moon? Because every time it goes around, there's going to be people zooming in like Crow 777. They're going to be watching for this thing, and it just drives me nuts.
Sickening.
I tell you. It is. NASA is. I'm sorry. I know people have said you can't be too hard on NASA. I'm going to look.
Why?
They're not.
They're stealing your children's future with your tax dollars. They're brainwashing people.
They're stealing your money.
Exactly.
Do you guys actually go to space? You're just making this shit up. I know I shouldn't swear, but.
Heaven forbid.
They're stealing your money. By the way, I was happy to see Jake. He got interviewed. How great is that? Sage Aquay interviewed Flat Earth Asshole.
Yes, I know. And I've messaged him to interview him too. So that was great. That's really great. Good.
I'm glad. I'm glad he's
speaking of swearing. Francisco Jr. says, how much you guys are going to charge to answer my question? LOL. 69 cents.
69 cents.
Hey up on the 69
show.
Operators
are standing by. And by that, I mean me. Wait, charge to answer what question?
I guess he was making a reference to if we have a subscription radio show, which is the plan coming up.
Oh, no. It's unlimited questions if you can get in. I don't know.
I think he was just
if it's live. No, if it's live. Okay. Couple things. One, if it's live, it's free. Right? But if you're listening to the old archives, in which case you can't answer those questions anyway, because then that would be time travel. That's not going to happen. But the other thing is that
I think he was just making reference to you guys are trying to make money off Flat Earth, but he was doing it in an LOL way because
no, I was like, no, we're not, but other people are. And if other people are looking around and saying, hey, who's, would you be willing to do part of this? If we don't do it, somebody else is going to. So I think we're as qualified as anybody out there to do it.
Yeah, I guess.
Why not?
And they asked us, so I guess they think that there's something to it.
Yeah, we've done the shit. And they asked both of us, and it was a team deal. It wasn't like they asked me and drug you in, or asked you and the opposite.
As in deal, it's not a salary we're getting. So no, I don't want anybody to think that either.
No. I mean, a team. It was a joint effort. We had to come as a group.
Yeah.
So
you and me, we're like this now.
You and me, what? Like what?
I did like that finger crossed thing people do. Together.
Right. Nice, Joe, and going there, Illuminati. The
no, that's not Illuminati.
How would you know? We don't know. I learn new stuff about this stuff every day.
Yikes. Mr. Rich.
That's why I'm carrying the gun all the time now, so I don't do this with my fingers. So I just
you just did it for a split second.
I didn't. I had the gun in my head. It doesn't count.
The Flat Earth Reality says we should all make money off what we love. Yes,
there's an old saying, and that is, if you find something, if you find a job
what you love and let it kill you.
No. If you find a job that you love, you'll never work a day in your life. And
yes,
that's true.
This is true. This is true.
I was going to confuse it with fool me once.
Shame on. Won't get fooled again.
Point is, you can't get fooled again. That saying should be completely rewritten because everybody screws it up. And that is, don't get fooled twice. That's it. That's the whole thing. Get burned once. You burn twice, you deserve it.
Shame on you. Burn me twice. I'm going to the hospital. It's the new saying.
Wow. Really?
Okay. Mr. Rich BOV, on a serious note, writes that Kent Hovind has a South African guy who can speak African Dutch, and he's making a series of arguments against Flat Earth soon. We should all hit every point in a response video or in comments or something and acknowledge when we can't. So we will be on the lookout for that.
Yeah, Kent Hovind's in the minority right now. You put Kent Hovind up against Celebrate Truth, Controversy 7, and Rob Skiba. we'll leave Tiger Dan out of it just for good measure. Ken Hovind's, he's got to get on this thing eventually. As a Bible literalist, he cannot keep that position open that much longer, because he's going to start losing a lot of traction. Just saying, Ken.
Next up on Q&A, this looks like it's from the fake Humana story, but it might be real, so I'll read it anyway.
Read it anyway. I can tell you, because Brian is a really nice guy.
And, you know, even challenging questions are fine, but people who are pretending to be other
Brian only
YouTubers,
asks me the challenging things on Friday mornings when I just get up.
Here it is. Okay, the real question. I hear a lot about the NASA not being real, but is it possible, like in the Truman Show, the moon is a material object that we quite possibly went to, meaning that NASA would be real? And why did we go to the moon? If not, why? That question was a bit confusingly written, but
I don't. Yeah, that's a weird question, but I'll answer it the best I can. And that is, look, the moon is not something you can land on, not by a long shot. In fact, Brian would definitely not ask that, because he and I had a discussion recently where if the moon, you look at a full moon, it is blinding. It is very, very bright. In fact, you cannot even look. Those night vision binoculars, you probably noticed this. If you try to, you cannot even look at them with night vision binoculars. It's that bright. And so the question is, when the astronauts supposedly landed on the moon, why wasn't that whole surface glowing? Since it was in the sunlight the entire time, it was this dull gray, non-reflective surface. That thing should have been like it should have been just a supernatural glow to it if it was the same thing. So no, we didn't land on anything. And I know it's hard. I know it's hard for people to give up space and to give up things, because people want to do it in stages. It's like, well, scientists, they go nuts. It's like, you're saying there's no solar system, that you're taking away my solar system. It's like you're ripping toys out of people's hands. It's like, yes, it's exactly what I'm saying. There is no Jupiter that you can land on. There's no moon. And don't even try to hold on to the ISS. That's gone too. So no, you can't. It's all gone.
So I really don't think that was Brian from Humana Story.
No, I don't think it was either.
Question. But we answered it anyway.
Brian's probably listening though. Hey, Brian, how are you?
Hello, Brian. And Mark, his brother as well.
Yeah.
Not you.
No, Marcus' brother.
Devira 770 says, are you sure that you guys are not moving too fast for a pay radio archive show? Is the movement big enough yet? Fair question. It wasn't our idea to do this to begin with.
It wasn't our idea in the first place.
Two, why not try it?
Yeah, why not try at this point?
And it will pay for the radio station and the put together of the website.
Yeah, so let me put it a different way. There have been different producers that have contacted myself. I'm not going to speak for you. Early on, I mean months ago, back at the end of last summer. So
well, yeah, me too. I mean,
for different things, people. This thing is big. The topic is getting unavoidable. And there are people out there that want to turn it into, people that aren't pure flat earthers that want to see if they can make some money off of it. And that's just how it works. That's what producers do. It's like, what's hot right now? Flat Earth? No, that's ridiculous. And they come back later. It's like, flat Earth? Nope, it's still silly. And then there's only so many times they can ignore this. So no, I don't think it's too early, not by a long shot. I mean, your next show on Wednesday is your 70th. That's a lot. That's a lot of shows.
Yeah, and other people have done. Look how many shows Jaron's done. I mean,
Jaron's done a lot of shows.
What about you? I mean, and many other people.
I've done a lot of interviews and shows. I just finished, Jimmy Church thing. That was 65, and I've still got 2 more I haven't put up yet. That's a lot. I've been interviewed a lot. So don't tell me it's too soon. And plus, the numbers are still tracking really, really well. It was still at 4.5, 4.6 this morning, which is insane.
Somebody messaged me that too.
We wouldn't have probably gotten over that hump without the BOB thing. The BOB thing changed the perspective on how flat Earth is being treated now, because now people's like, okay, it may not be totally serious for a lot of people, but it's a real topic. It's a real debatable topic. It's polarizing, which is why people are now getting. Well, we'll look at what was that show's name again? Something Mystical Morning.
Yeah, Good Mystical Morning.
Yeah, they have 9 million subscribers. 9 million subscribers. They shouldn't be touching this, but they are. They dedicated on both their channels, dedicated sections on both their channels, not just a passing glance, but that's how big this thing is getting, to where even the biggest YouTube channels are touching it now. So no, it's not too soon.
I went to the very bottom of Q&A because I don't know if Q&A, it feeds from the bottom up or down. I'm not sure. This is from Athabasca Media and writes, and I don't even understand what this means. So for Mark, Beth, B-E-T-H, and then the letter V, and then parentheses 5. Does that mean anything to you? Beth V5?
Beth version 5? Or is that her handle?
B-E-T-H?
Wait, is that it? That's the whole thing?
Yes, for Mark, Beth V5.
Beth
Athabasca Media re-ask. I'm just going on, moving on. I don't know what that means.
Wait, who was the person that wrote it?
Athabasca Media.
Beth version 5. You have to be more specific.
All I can think of is that song. I think it's by Kiss, Beth. That's all I can think of.
I don't know it. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, so we'll figure that out.
But I'm dense sometimes, so.
Let's see. Bunch of people asking about the video game questions we've already asked. This is from Francisco Jr., who says, Mark, how do I see Polaris here from New Zealand? Is it possible? If you can see it, then it's possible.
I suppose, but it doesn't matter to me because I still think the structure, because remember, I believe in a dome, hence enclosedworld.com, that the display properties are based off of instances. And by that, I mean realization of an object, which means you can display different things graphically depending on region, which we have been doing programming-wise for at least 15 years now.
And for those who don't believe in that, other explanations include the dome or firmament is moving, and then the stars are moving that way. There's a multitude of different ways that is not a flat Earth killer. It's just something that we've not figured out completely yet.
And I would be amazed if we actually do figure everything out before it gets exposed, because look at the David Blaine, who's the other guy? Chris Angel. Look, people know some of their tricks, but they don't know all of their tricks. You know, there are some things we were not meant to know. Now, we can guess all we want and try to fit it into terms we understand, but we're not going to figure out all of it. Definitely not.
And I'm okay personally with not figuring out it all. I know, like I said earlier in the show, that I've been lied to all my life. My parents were lied to and my grandparents. And I want it to stop here with me. And I want to help spread the word that we are not on a ball and we're not spinning. And, you know, the rest is to be debated and talked out and worked out by people. So, you know, all the stuff that you see like global this and global that, now that I know it's a lie. And I can see when I'm being programmed with, you know, the alien agenda and all the other ways of quote unquote global control. So it's a freeing experience. You don't need to know exactly how the stars are moving. Now, I'm not saying that I don't want to know or that I don't care. I'm just saying it's not necessary in order to believe that the Earth is flat.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I agree. And every time I think of the mechanisms and every time I think I've got a handle on it, I glance at like the Book of Enoch. That just throws me again because there's so much weird stuff happening in that book. And I'm so glad that
sun and moon going in and going out.
Yeah, there's portal, where the sun and the moon go sometimes, and all the mechanisms that control
that sounds very video game-ish to me, actually.
Video game-ish only because in our case, art imitates life. You know, in their case, it's just, you know, part of a big machine.
But Kel, who made me the necklace that I showed in the very beginning of this show, I had to put it away because my cats were trying to attack it. She uses the AE map for the necklace. Now, regardless of the true shape of the Earth, I know what that means. It just is a symbol to me anyway that the Earth is flat. Will I put that on as a channel logo? No, I'm not doing that because I don't find that necessary. My channel is not about proving a map. But, you know, I still will treasure the necklace because the intent behind it.
Yeah, it's still a good symbol, and it's still a good representation of the alternative to the globe. One of the alternatives.
Yeah.
Honestly,
and somebody can go ahead and make necklaces and keychains in a different shape of map too. They would be popular as well. Or T-shirt. Sure.
If somebody actually finishes the work that Tiger Dan started, and or Dr. Zach or whoever's working on the map of the globe and tweaking things out, if it works and people, yeah, this thing totally works, I will absolutely endorse it, no question.
Yeah.
But until then, okay,
well, right now you do endorse all sort of, as far as I know, all sort of investigation into what we're living on.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I do. But when I show somebody something for the first time, when I describe it to any new interviewee or new person, I say, look, start out with this, start out with a UN flag, and then ask questions after it. Because that's, you got, like anything, you've got to get your head.
Yeah, people want to know. And it is a good teaching tool. And then from there you can say, that's one version. And another version on this flat earth is it looks like this. And yet another version is this. But if you give that to somebody right away, they're going to be like, whoa, 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 whoa. And just
sort of like the cross section of the earth, where science, and I'm going to give them not too much crap on this, where science has the cross section, where it's red and orange and yellow and white, this cross section, even though they've only drilled down 8 miles. But that's because people would hate for science to give them a cross section of the earth with a big question mark in the middle of it. That would drive people insane. It's like, well, can't you give us a guess? I mean, there's only so many times you can hear that before science says, all right, here it is. Cross section, there it is, there's your layers, there, that's it. And now we're going to preach it as is, so nobody asks us any more questions, even though in the fine print on any science book they say, well, we're kind of extrapolating, we don't really know what's down there, but this is our best guess. So I mean,
up next from Bob Baldex, will there be commercials on the new platform? And I think the answer to that is yes. And they're going to be for flat earther merchandise.
Yeah.
That varying flat earthers can actually sell.
Yeah, we're going to do our best to make sure that only flat earth stuff is being sold on there. And the only difference there is we don't know if it's actual commercial breaks or we're going to be reading the commercials.
I hope it's breaks. Either way is fine.
Either way, it depends how they have the setup. If the setup is easy
helping out a flat earther making T-shirts or something, I'm all for it.
So get ready. By the way, if you've got flat earth stuff to hawk, shoot a letter to me or Patricia. Well, you can start with me because I know Patricia. She doesn't, read everything. But
yes, I do.
You do?
Please. I do. I read and respond way more than you, actually.
Really?
Yes. Oh, yes. I'm well known for those who message me for responding. Definitely.
All right. Well, if you have flat earth,
I respond in my comments too, although I try not to get too involved because it's just too much sometimes.
There's a lot. Every video gets worse. But yeah, if anyone has flat earth ideas, anything from frisbees to T-shirts to keychains, I mean, as you know, there's already products out there
in any shape of any map, sinusoidal or AE or that 1920s map people are talking about, or the map with Jerusalem in the center, or whatever map you want, whatever map you like.
As long as it's flat earth related, by all means, please, get a hold of us and, get ready, because this thing's going to go live here pretty soon.
I think I want to do a show, and I'm going to put the call out for it right now, and I want to call it Map-a-geddon, like Armageddon. And I want people who have specific maps that they particularly represent to come in a panel show. And each person they'll have to use the screen share to show their map and explain their map. Don't you think that would be fascinating?
Sure. I don't know how many alternatives there are right now. Because remember, people...
a map from the 20s or something somebody told me about.
Yeah.
There's sinusoidal, there's the AE, there's Jerusalem in the center map. There's others we all have heard. Now, I'm not saying they have to be fully worked out. I mean, they just have to be well worked out enough so that we can explain part. I mean, AE map's not completely worked out. There's things that don't work. So it would be interesting. So if anybody there listening, or anybody here listening, is somebody who knows enough about a map and maybe has done videos pertaining to the map that they favor and would be confident in order to speak on that map, please send me an email for Map-a-geddon. Now, because it's a play on Armageddon, that would mean that I'm talking about war. No, there will never be any arguing, yelling, fighting on my show. It would be just a jokey name to kind of draw attention to the fact that we're going to be debating different maps and discussing and trying to see, work something out. This is an idea. Maybe the show will never happen because we've got to get the people with the maps to all agree to be on my show at the same time. But email me if you're interested in representing a particular map. except for the globe, because that's debunked. And the email address is miss, M-I-S-S, Steere, S-T-E-E-R-E, at gmail.com for Map-a-geddon. You can put Map-a-geddon in the subject.
That's weird. You know, when you read your email, it comes out as mystery.
I know, isn't that weird? But
That is
cool,
weird.
actually.
Yeah. By the way,
Robin
my
Poe.
shirt says Langley. Figure it out.
Right.
Yeah.
Whidbey Island, Langley.
Doesn't
You're in
say
the CIA.
Quantico. Doesn't.
I'm telling you, man, it's right there, hidden.
It's right in front of me, man.
He's in the CIA. He's pointing a gun too.
Hang on, I got to make sure Langley's in frame. If you want to screenshot this.
Your arm's in the way.
Damn it! How about that?
Nope. Give it up. Robin Poe writes, the visit by DiCaprio to the Pope, do you think it was the powers that be sending a message to keep the globe model? The whole thing was kind of like a scene from The Godfather. Yeah, it did have those overtones.
Yeah, although it was strange that DiCaprio met the Pope and then the Pope visited the other Pope and then that Pope went to Antarctica. You know, there's these chain, and of course DiCaprio meeting the Pope was literally the morning after Neil deGrasse Tyson, you know, dropped the mic. So interesting.
And we have another statement question from Greg Hansen, who references what I just talked about. We don't need to rediscuss, but it's the sinusoidal map. And do we know about it? You know, the portals. Yes, we definitely know about it. Aware of it. Think it's cool. Think it's interesting. Definitely, hopefully somebody that represents that map will email me at missteer@gmail.com to come on a potential future Map-a-geddon show to show their map, how it works. And we'll have other people presenting their maps too. Very fascinating stuff. And of course, being in the Book of Enoch makes it even more interesting. Komorusen writes, oh, and by the way, there could be a map that it ends up being, which is like a combo wombo of different aspects of varying maps.
Is that like Cabo Wabo, that nightclub that was run by Van Halen down in Cabo San Lucas?
No. Combo wombo, just something I just decided to say for some reason. Yeah, it could be.
You were at that club, weren't you? Yeah.
Never. I never really liked going to clubs. I mean, when I was really young, I did a couple of those ones when you were below drinking age that you could go to. One was called Club Soda in Kalamazoo, Michigan.
Club Soda.
Club Soda. Yeah. It was, boy, I thought it was so cool when I got to go there. Bought a new outfit, you know. Yeah. Prince was and a band called The Time were really popular at that time. Madonna was out. The days before I knew about all the weird Illuminati and satanic stuff and all of this music. The
80s were very innocent
and fun.
Nobody talked about anything. And conspiracies literally didn't exist in so many places during the 80s.
Things were happening, but we didn't have the internet. The internet ruined everything.
My favorite thing was Rob Zombie talking about the 80s. And he's going, why, how, you know, this is kind of a sort of a gay reference, nothing against gay people, but he goes, how did we have a band called Queen at the top of the charts and nobody caught that meaning? Nobody got that.
I never did either. No. I mean, I just never.
No, it's like,
yeah, in a way, it's kind of good because you could just be yourself, whatever your sexual preference was, and just make your music. And people
took everything at face value.
Yeah.
Took everything at face value.
And now I think we overanalyze things, which is good in some ways because we reveal truths, but also you almost sometimes create false truths by overanalyzing and being too conspiratorial.
Yeah. I lived in Seattle and I still didn't get for years what Pearl Jam was. Right?
Wait a minute. I don't think I even know what that is now. Is it something you can say?
Yeah, we're not going to talk about it there.
Wow. Okay. So at 53, I'm about, after the show ends, to find out what Pearl Jam really means.
Wow. Really? You are innocent.
No, I'm not. I mean, I'm normal person. I'm very aware of stuff, but just never realized.
You are 2 bus rides and a cab away from normal.
Well, okay. I'll give you that. Komoroisen, boy, I'm saying that wrong, writes the following. It seems to me that the movie The Principle was created as damage control for the flat earth. They want to keep the globe model to be able to still fit the evolution theory and have access to space for their alien agenda, which I believe they'll execute this year.
I believe that as well, but I don't think The Principle was set as damage control because they started working on that way before the beginning of 2015, if I'm not mistaken.
I've still not seen it. I've seen clips from it. And Jaron was telling us when we were on his Monday Night Raw show with he and Missa, which is on both of our channels. Was that last week? Whenever we were talking about the movie, and he urged us both to see it, and neither of us have done it.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen parts of it. I know what the whole premise is, but it's I don't think it's done to do damage control necessarily on flat Earth. Change the universe. I don't, they really go hand in hand, because one takes away the universe model, and the other, ours, takes away the world model. So it's one of those deals.
Our model,
with sound
whatever
effects.
it turns out to be, the flat Earth model takes away the lies. That's what it takes away.
Yes.
Oh, somebody just wrote what Pearl Jam means. Thanks.
There you go. Now you get it.
No, not that I'm disgusted by that, but just to see that.
Yeah, but now you get it, right?
Yeah, I do.
Well, yeah, but the thing is, years you could have gone to a concert, never would have crossed your
mind. When they first came out, I liked Pearl Jam. It's not my kind of music now, but I did like them.
No.
So never knew. I'm like, yeah, Pearl Jam, cool.
Yeah, nah, you get it.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, if we take so many words at face value, we just don't. You probably do.
To Joe Reel for
who watches apparently a lot of pornography.
He's keeping it real.
Yeah, exactly.
Joe Reel. Mr. Rich B.O.B. says, for the next Flatties, why don't we cast a mold of the one that Mr. Moot made? That would be a good idea to make little ones. Yeah. And he says we should make something like a wiki using the Wikimedia kernel and put all of the real proof from our real flat Earth community in there, which would be a good idea, but who's really going to do it? That's the thing.
Yeah,
that's the thing. Great idea. Somebody want to tackle that? If you don't raise your hand, I'm going to have to assign it to you. I would have been a good teacher, right? No,
I don't. I'm sorry, Patricia. You're breaking up. Patricia,
you, Mark Sargent. I saw your hand move.
I would have been a good teacher. In fact, I was in the teaching program briefly when I was up at college. That I got thrown out of for making fireworks, which but in fact, I was the only guy in the class of it was all women.
Well, that's probably why you entered, right?
No, I had no idea, and I should have known because there's teachers in my family, and I should have realized it, but I didn't.
When I was very young, I toyed with the idea of being a teacher for a while. And then I also toyed with being a veterinarian. That was the first thing I wanted to be. But then I realized you had to put animals to sleep. And no, I wanted to be a geologist because I saw, film strips in school. Film strips is what we used to watch about people discovering dinosaur bones. Thinking about that now is funny with flat Earth knowledge. I wanted to be a marine biologist because of Jacques Cousteau. If anybody remembers Jacques Cousteau from TV. Back in the 70s. So all of those things never happened.
No, and instead you wound up at Annapolis and then finally naval intelligence. So fantastic. A couple years ahead of me, mind you.
Yeah.
I know. I just derailed that whole thing. You just got on. That's all people are going to remember. It's like, wow, she wanted to be a biologist. No, she's a spy, dude. She's totally a spy.
Jean Vincent Hessebroek, I totally said that name wrong, sorry. But you know who you are, says, hi to all fellow flat earthers. I will keep an eye on Ken Hovind's friend, mentioned earlier, here from South Africa and keep you updated. By the way, did you guys see NASA's having a huge showcase here in June? Gateway to the Stars, I guess. Didn't know about that.
Yeah.
More information.
A lot of flash happening at NASA, but no substance.
Well, that's
they're talking about a lot of stuff, but people keep forgetting. Look, I'm stealing a line from one of the fans, which is confirmation through omission, which is you're talking about everything. You're talking about a lot of stuff, but that's all it is. You're releasing news stories. That's all you're doing. There is no space shuttle program anymore. Nobody's been to the moon in a long time.
Ever?
They're shutting down the ISS. Yeah, exactly. Well, publicly, news stories.
Right.
They're shutting down the ISS. The moon program, which they thought they were going to ramp up 2 months ago, is now off the table. The Mars program is now off the table.
Did they get a big budget recently, though?
Yeah, it was approved at the end of last year.
Yes, so what are they doing with that money?
They're stealing your money.
Well, I know that. But what do they say they're doing with the money?
They don't. Yeah, exactly. If you don't have a space shuttle program, you don't have an ISS anymore. What are you spending $20 billion on? Oh, I'd probably some deep underground bases or whatever it is, but you're not doing anything.
I'm trying to open this. How does this open? I see these little things here and here on my laser.
What? Oh no, it pops up here like this. Here, look, see?
Yeah. Okay. Oh, yours looks way better. You know, mine costs exactly the same as yours. Yours just looks so like
Well,
that
no,
grip.
mine's just black. That's all.
Yeah. Oh, I see. Mine's got this little thing to connect.
Okay, so then you got to make sure the battery doesn't have a little plastic things on the top.
Okay, got it.
And
oh,
then
it does. I'll open that. I don't know why I want to do this right now. I'm supposed to be doing Q&A.
We got a show. Well, not much left of a show, but we still have a show.
I set the show for a half hour. I don't know if you were even able to stay later than because we started late because of this Google.
I can't stay that late, but I'll try to stay for a little while anyway.
All right, I'm trying to open my battery. I'm gonna have to get something sharp here.
But yeah, then once that's all you do. You plug it in, and then it turns on when you click it. You don't have to turn on anything.
All right.
And then there's 3 settings usually. I don't know if the buttons are on the same. So I have 3 buttons. One's for Fahrenheit, one's for backlight.
Yeah, I've got that too.
One's for the lasers. So the lasers in the center, and then so you just point and click.
Yours looks nicer somehow. I don't know why.
No, yours is safety yellow.
color.
I think probably break things.
I do not. Why do you say these things about me and you don't even know what's true? I rarely break things. I rarely break things. I rarely lose things. I read on my emails. I answer my emails.
You just used a troll line there. Why do you say things about me that are even true? Welcome to our lives, folks.
Exactly. All right, I've got to reach behind my computer and get a pair of scissors. Is a scissors a pair? I guess it is.
It's called a pair of scissors, but it
just seems weird.
It's a pair of blades, but it's.
I'm going to draw blood here.
It's one scissor. You're right. That's a good one.
Okay, so yeah, it's a scissor. Okay, so oh, I just almost lost that. We've got Mark Knight. I'm going to read this, then you address it, and I'll open this thing up, and then you can take me to the hospital when I cut my finger off. Mark Knight, wakey writes.
No, I can't because I'm not in the same building.
I know. And then people are going to go.
Thank you. Nice job. Wonderful job. We might as well be the astronauts saying, "Oh yeah, by the way, we're flying over Pennsylvania right now."
Exactly.
We're not. No, actually, we're in space. What she meant is she wants me to rescue her is what she's saying. She's not saying that we're in the same room.
Totally capable of rescuing myself, but we need to bounce like we're in, like they do to show their, in anti-gravity or whatever.
Exactly. Here, one more for effect. We're not in the same room. Get it? Oh, God.
Mark, you next door. The ridiculous world we live in. Someday we are going to be in either your room or my room at the same time.
Yeah, someday, yeah, we will.
It's gonna happen.
We're a radio station at the same time.
Oh yeah.
Remember that guy that said, by the way, I know you got to read the thing. Remember the guy that said that he wouldn't believe that I wasn't the actor Michael Key, unless we were both, unless we actually shot a room in a scene in a hotel room together, where we were physically touching. I was going, well, that could be a little weird. So,
that would be weird.
At that point, it turns a whole different way. It's like, well,
that guy really actually was wanting to film some blue movies, let's call them.
Exactly. Well, since we're here, the room's good.
Where the term Pearl Jam perhaps could come into play.
Wow.
Why did I ever have to learn that? I don't want to learn that.
Going off script. That's great. I'm so proud of you.
Okay, I've opened my battery. Okay, now back to real things here.
Didn't Mark Knight or...
Yeah, he asked a question. Years ago, at one point, he asked a question.
Sorry, Mark.
Uh-oh, there goes the gun on the floor.
You read the question, don't you? See what I mean? You break things.
No, it just fell off my lap.
This is what happened to David's clock.
Yes, David Weiss gave me a beautiful flat earth clock, and I hung it on the wall, and the nail wasn't substantial enough.
One nail.
It slid down the wall and smashed behind my DVD racks, and the face was glass. Okay, I didn't break it though. It broke while I was in bed.
You hung the nail. You broke it.
Details.
It's like you left the stopper in the bathtub and the water running. I didn't do it. The bathtub was just running on its own. It's like you turned the handle.
All right. Mark Knight says, "Will you let me talk?" No.
Oh,
Just got online after a long bus ride in India regarding the map. I've got some good info and interviews regarding the flat Earth map in Vedic terms from Hindu Brahmins, Jain priests, and Tibetan monks. I'll take a few weeks to cut it up. Need sleep. So we've got one person in for Map-a-geddon. Mark Knight of Wakey Wakey. That's good. Anyone else?
Jake Blastard should do the promo for that show.
Yeah, Map-a-geddon.
Map-a-geddon.
Mr. Rich VOB writes, no, I'm keeping an eye on Hovind and friends. I spam him flat Earth religiously via email in a nice way. And you can help. Teresa Gordon writes that she thinks on Math Powerland's Facebook page, they're going to try a fake invasion March 11th, Project Bluebeam. Why March 11th? Okay, I'm getting down to...
That's in 11 days.
Yeah. Fake alien invasion. Get your lasers ready.
Laser getting.
Now we're all going to think the 11th, and we're going to have that in our mind and start getting like slightly paranoid.
Hey, did we diffuse Omni-Eris? Is he
Omni-Eris?
You remember him?
Yes, Omni-Eris, the YouTuber who makes some pretty scandalous videos about flat earthers, which I didn't like.
Everything. He doesn't hate you though.
But he's actually, forget the topics he talks about, as a person who broadcasts. He's quite talented and funny. But you know,
every time you do that, you're making yourself immune from his attacks.
No, I'm not trying personally to get attacked. I just want flat earthers not to think that I'm liking some guy who's anti-flat earth. It's not that. You can look at somebody being talented, even if they're not flat earth. This battery won't fit in very well. Oh, wait, I got it.
So you close it.
Pointing it at me.
Do not. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Okay. Now what you're going to do is you're going to point it straight at your eye and check it.
All right. I'm going to read a question. Brian Verville says, hello all. Stuck Jockey says, if Rory, my cat, is on my printer, would that make him a copycat?
Oh my God. Oh, no, there's no tears. Sorry.
Just like Obama. A.E. Salonis says, cool dress, Patricia, cool shirt, Mark.
Yep. Langley 98260, by the way. So it's not like what was that? 90210.
You can totally tell that's a tourist shirt. It's cute though.
Tourist shirt?
Tourist
shirt is a tourist shirt. It's
not like that kind of thing you'd buy on Fisherman's Wharf, San Francisco.
You remember the ultimate tourist shirts are those Hawaii ones where people, it'd be the year, people come back and it's like Hawaii 1981.
That's cool. Although
those are
I just
cool.
Don't like Hawaiian prints.
No, not the Hawaiian prints, the t-shirts that were kind of done like jerseys.
Oh, I know what you're saying. I've never been to Hawaii. That's one of those places that everyone goes I'd like to go.
Came back from Hawaii?
My sister went.
She never got one of those t-shirts, did she?
I don't think so, no. But she did go see a live volcano, which was cool.
Oh, that's fun. But those use magma pumps, you know.
Let's tell people about that, by the way.
Magma
the whole
pumps.
Lava pumps. No, it's lava pumps.
Oh, lava pumps. Sorry.
By somebody of saying that underneath Earth, there's something called lava pumps.
In one
and
of
I know
my
you've never said.
I have never ever used the term except on this show, lava pumps. That was because in one of the clues I said, look, the magma system has got to be mechanical as well. It's got to be controlled.
So you say that like the air system, the water system.
Yeah, the jet stream in the air, the underwater conveyor system in the water.
Created by a creator.
And the reason is you'd never, because people will say, why wouldn't that be organic? Why don't you just leave the magma stuff organic? It's like, are you insane? If you leave an organic magma system, what, you want a super volcano goes off, one super volcano, and that's it. That's game over.
Hey, wait, look. It's working.
Oh, right. Cool. So if you pointed at something,
is this going to hurt my computer? No.
No.
It says my computer's 30.2.
Here, hit the Celsius button.
Got it. Oh, my computer's 86.3.
The screen. So, yeah, if you pointed at like your desk, it'll be in the.
Oh, I have a really bright light. I bet if I pointed at that, it's going to get some.
It'll be over 100.
113. Whoa.
Yeah. Now, if you point at your skin, I know, guys, you're not supposed to be watching this stuff. So if you point at your skin.
Wait, why are we not supposed to be watching this stuff?
Well, no, the people, we're doing experiments while the people are wanting a show. So
this is a show.
If you point at your skin,
it's not going to burn me, right? I'm scared.
No, it's not good. No, you don't use the laser. Turn off the laser. The laser is just to let you know where you are if you're firing at a distance.
Turn off the laser mode.
you just hit the center button and the laser thing will go off.
EMS and then something else, max 92 point. I don't know which is, wait. Okay, that's laser on. That's laser on. I don't think mine has a laser off mode.
It's got 3 buttons, right?
Yes.
What's the center button?
It says mode.
Mode.
A la mode.
Oh, yeah, right. That's something else. Okay, it doesn't really matter. So change it from Celsius to, you're back on Celsius.
All right.
Point at your skin. Tell me what it reads. This is a test, folks. Patricia doesn't know, but I'm actually trying to find out if she's a robot or hybrid alien.
92.4.
Damn it. She's normal.
You've replaced her regular coffee with Folgers.
Yeah, so that's proof right there. She is not an alien hybrid. Yeah, we can see it just fine. Perfect. So if like
I don't know how to turn off the laser.
Here, so I point at mine. Let's see if I can get a higher.
Who's
reading.
Hotter, Patricia or Mark?
I'm getting 91, 92
I
here.
win,
So there's
yeah.
So here, can you see it? 92.
So this is actually, I'm playing around with this thing, but the reason I got this is to do a Moonlight test, and I can also use it to play with my cats.
Yeah,
and I got it on Amazon through Jaren's link.
$15 roughly.
$15. We have different ones, but they're both like the #1 sellers or something.
Yeah,
so,
who cares where you get them from? Because China's making
doing the test for my own amusement, I guess.
People probably wondering, it's like, wait, isn't the temperature 98.6? She's a lizard. No, it's because heat radiates outward, so your skin temperature is going to be around 93. Now, if you point at your tongue,
medicine on flat Earth and other hot potatoes.
How about my neck?
This is the weirdest show ever.
93.7. How about my head?
You have a big head there, sir.
I do have a big head.
What's it
Gold
say?
star, if you can remember what size head I have.
10. No.
8.
8. Oh,
size 8 hat. Size 8 is about as high as you can go before getting into the big and tall stores for hats.
Okay.
Anyway, so these things work great. So the whole point of this is test moonlight and moonshade. If the moonlight is actually colder than the moonshade, then something's wrong with the moon. And I dare any scientist to say how the radiation is being transmuted into a cold light.
And you have to be careful with what you're using. You
do not
point it to.
Do not hit your own eye with this.
Or animals' eyes.
Or animals' eyes. So when you're playing with your cat, just make sure it's always in front of them. Don't let them, just don't.
And also when you do the moonlight test.
What?
When you're doing the moonlight test, use things that don't transmit heat or cold.
Yeah, if you can, use objects. The one person recently who, bring a metal object outside. You can test the ground too, like Rob Skiba's guy, which I think is perfectly fine. I don't see why, because he tested it in so many different places. The test that I did the other night, which I didn't film because I was a little disappointed because it was only like a 4 degrees shift. And 4 degrees is fine, but Rob Skiba's guy had 10 degrees, 12 degrees. So
that depends where the moon is, though, right?
Yeah, where the moon is in the sky. Mine was low on the horizon, so it wasn't hitting me with a lot of cold light. But it was still cool. I still like it, and it's still well worth it to show your friends because it really messes. People like to see. It's a simple thing to do. People like to see, evidence. Like, explain this to me. Explain me why moonlight is cold, and let them go on the internet and fumble about and see if they can dig up anything.
Yeah, you can show it works on your arm. You can show first to show people that the temperature is pretty close to accurate, and then you can take them outside and do a little test, and it'll help. Perhaps it doesn't prove flat Earth, but it can help people understand that what we've been told about what the moon is ain't necessarily so.
Plus, these things are fun because you can use it for to test you can test the heat on anything. Usually, it's mechanical people that have these, like my brother-in-law.
Yeah, you can get them at like hardware stores, I think.
Yeah, you can buy these. You don't have to buy it on Amazon. You can go to the hardware stores and pay another $4 or $5 and get it. You don't have to have it shipped from Amazon. But cheapest
because for me it was easier. Leslie Isabella says, Patricia and Mark, I have a DVD copy of The Principal. It sucked. So that's what she says.
It's not. Yeah.
I've just not been interested, but Jaren, who I respect, and Mrs. said we should watch it, so maybe we should. I respect their views. Holly Smith writes, I'm wondering how international planes and ships reach their destinations if we don't have accurate world maps. Wouldn't they get lost? No.
No, because the GPS system works for the Matrix.
But people will say, well, GPS, wait a minute. GPS, there's no satellites. How can GPS work? Answer?
And good point. And that is, in fact, I'll be talking about it on the show tomorrow, where I've got a master tank gunner, who's going to talk and say that
Master of the tanks.
Master Tank Gunner, Master.
Does he have this gun?
He no, he does not have.
I think not.
So anyway, so the problem, okay, what happens is when you're flying a plane, you actually they show you where you are, but it's still approximated. Now the gunner's going to say that they actually transmit some sort of coordinate to the plane to where they don't get lost, but the return coordinates don't come back. And he goes, that's really, really strange anyway. You know, so like the plane knows where it is, but we don't know where the plane is. See what I mean? So they supposedly, you know, they see their graphic on whatever it is, and they seem to think they know where they are, I think. But those coordinates aren't being transmitted back, because that's where we always get those estimated or approximated modes, which I know we talked about the last time, where even if you're leaving, like, you can check this out. It's not just Southern Hemisphere, it's Northern Hemisphere too. Take a flight out of Los Angeles or San Francisco, anything that's going to Hawaii, because, you know, there's no islands between the West Coast and Hawaii. And when they get offshore, just out of radar range, they blink off. The graphic might still be there, but the latitude and longitude don't exist anymore. So they're really on autopilot, you know, but the course is laid in for them, and that's how they get there.
So tomorrow night show, which is the 1st of March, on
Yes.
Strange World,
Yes.
on TFR, you're going to be with Tank Guy discussing.
Tank Guy. Yep.
All right.
Different Tank Guy, by the way, than the one that I initially talked to a while ago. He was higher up in the food chain. This is actually a guy who's you know, spent a lot of time inside tanks.
Oh, wow.
And he's going to talk about gyros and curvature and Coriolis effect.
I love all these professional shows that you have. Definitely.
Yeah, this will be my 13th.
Ooh, uh-oh. My
Lucky
13th episode was Tiger Dan, so.
And it's fun for me because, yeah, it's yet another military person. I've done all branches, but it's nobody has come against these guys. So I'm stacking them up, all these professionals, both from the military and the private sector, who talk about how the Earth is absolutely wrong and the model we've been shown is a complete fabrication. And yet I haven't even gotten a single call. You know me, I'd tell you, I haven't even gotten a single call from anyone that is willing to go up against it. And we know that's true because no one's even made a video from a professional standpoint against it. You know, you think you get some guy from the Navy saying, no, you know, Sean McCrary is full of it, blah, blah, blah. You know, and he silhouettes himself. He doesn't have to come out on camera and say it's ridiculous, but why not say your name and then come out and say it's ridiculous? Nobody's done that. Why not? It's because because you can't. There's nothing you can do, which is also why Tiger Dan never came out and finished his rebuttals against the flat Earth.
Could. You never know.
How?
Never know.
Where's he going to go on this? He's really going to disprove his own 75 ways the Bible proves the flat Earth.
Well, his Bible proofs, from what I've heard recently from varying people, could be taken either way. Now that we've had time to look at them a second way, they could work on a ball or a flat Earth, according to those in the know.
Then why hasn't anybody done it? You know, why
It's a
hasn't
good idea.
why hasn't he
should do that?
Why hasn't he done it? And why is our Controversy 7 and Celebrate Truth so hot right now? And Rob Skiba rolling. You know, he's going to make a book one of these days and dedicate it towards flat Earth.
Flat Earth reality. So so many. Yeah. Marcus King writes, "Listen, guys, I've been married for 20 years. You guys are putting off a married for a long time vibe. Here's the thing about that. We've been accused of being married. If we were married, we would just do a show as a married couple. There's nothing wrong with that. Totally nothing wrong with that. In the same room, hanging out."
Patricia, you there?
No, the thing is that there's no conspiracy.
This is a video show. That doesn't do me any good.
No, it doesn't. There's no conspiracy if there's no reason we'd be lying that we're married. There's no reason.
Right. No, Patricia and I talk a lot. And
it's kind of like if the word married means bonded together, we are on that level.
Yeah.
We don't have a legal contract. We don't live in the same state or house or vicinity. We are not in that relationship. What else do people want to know? Nor have we ever been.
But we've talked. Look, when you have two people that are focused on the same thing,
and we get along really well.
Yeah, we get along really well. We come up with some cool little projects together, and it's been a lot of fun.
And we help each other too. So
yeah,
there's that aspect that could be like a married vibe, but I mean, I think it's called a friendship vibe.
yeah, and we both like cats.
Yeah, and actually, I mean, I'll say it right here. I do love Mark, and I know he loves me. So it's you know how you love people? It's friendship. It's like a
Oh, like a 60s like love groovy type
no,
thing.
nothing like that. I just mean when you have a feeling about a fellow human being and you're doing some of the same stuff together and you feel a connection. I think most of us in Flat Earth feel that. It's a beautiful thing.
I'm impressed that you would actually say that in there. And
Yeah.
yes, I love her as well, or I love you, I should say.
Aw, this is nice. The 69 show is taking a new meaning.
Not to say.
No, the reason that it's the 69 show is because, of course, it's show number 69, and we've not taken it into the toilet at all when it comes to the.
There's people. I know there's people commenting.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of sex in this show. I'm telling you right now.
Sorry.
There's very little.
Well, we did learn a little bit about Pearl Jam during the show. So, anyway, the Flat Earth Survival Guide writes: do you think the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency has an accurate map of the flat Earth? I do.
Yeah, I think the actual scale. There are real maps out there, no question. But even those were in doubt. I think even the old ones were wrong.
Maybe even in the Vatican, there's real maps locked up.
Well, the one, whatever got Admiral Byrd on his mission, he was flying around looking for something, and if the map was accurate, because they could have pointed him. It's like, go further south this time. It just kind of giving him little breadcrumbs. Whatever they were sending him wasn't working. So
if indeed Admiral Byrd was real, people are like, well, he was a Mason, and
no, he was a real guy.
Story.
No, yeah. He's what, the television interview was fake?
I don't know. These days, people. I'm just saying, playing devil's advocate. You know what I'm saying?
Not in 1954. It wasn't. I mean, he was on a 60-minute show. It was on television. It's crystal clear. It's not in color, but it was very, very good.
The Longines show.
Yeah. Longines Chronoscope.
No, it's Longines.
So no, he was a real guy. Was he a Mason?
Longines.
Yes, he was. But I think first and foremost, he was an explorer, and I think he had access to some of the old maps, but I don't think the maps were right. I think those were even wrong, and which is why they were scrambling around once they figured out, okay, so then they had to remap the whole thing, starting in the 50s. So whatever maps we're using now aren't that old by comparison.
YouTuber This Lana, this and then L.A.N.A. This Lana writes, this Lana chooses to ask about Hebrews chapter 11, verse 3, that tells us God created worlds with an S on the end. Is it possible that every time scientists say they see Earth-like worlds in space, that they may just be viewing other flat worlds?
Yeah, maybe. But
I think worlds might just mean on the plane somewhere.
Yeah, that's what I think too. Because again, you're running into the problem of all that wasted space, which is, if Jupiter really is that far away, why waste the space? It's like, because of the solar system. It's like, no. Forget about the solar system. You want to make things, again, efficient. And the most efficient way is to just put them all next to each other and then fake whatever's up there and tell them whatever you want. You got to remember that the line from the Truman Show is still the most important thing here to remember, which is that when the director says people accept the world that is presented to them. If you told children that we were actually living in a giant whale and then everything that was flying around up there, all the lights were actually fireflies, why would they ever doubt you?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, you tell children about Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny and the leprechauns.
Yeah. Which is why I mentioned the movie The Village from M. Night Shyamalan, where, because we could do that now. That movie worked for me because it's absolutely plausible, which is you take children and you raise them from birth in anywhere you want, as long as they're away from civilization, and you can tell them anything you want. So if you're an Amish family in the 1800s, that's what you tell them. It's like, it's the 1800s. We're fireplaces and wood stoves. We could. That's all they know. Why would they ever question it? In fact, you can make up any language you want. You can make up anything you wanted to. So, the story about the solar system and the planets and the moon and all that stuff, that's easy because we want to believe it. It's suspension of disbelief. Sorry, it's my little rant.
And then with all the sci-fi, it makes it exciting too.
Exactly.
Marcus King writes, I know you guys aren't really married. I meant that kind of joking because it's obvious you two have a good bond. And Joe Real says, Mark, if you like it, you better put a ring on it. Let's see.
I've never been married. At least not legally sanctioned by the state.
Someone says, Mr. Rich B.O.B. says, can someone make a torrent of The Principal, please? Brian Verville says, I don't think the Challenger explosion was planned. One of the crew is still alive. 2 are still alive. That was planned.
No, the Challenger explosion wasn't
more than that are alive.
Yeah, 6 out of the 7 are still
it wasn't
alive.
planned. The rocket with no people on it exploded, and then the people who were supposed to be on it, who were like in an underground bunker, just waiting for that to go off into the sky, were told, "Oh, guys, we're gonna have to disappear you now, put you into new lives." And they probably knew that before they signed up to do the thing. They just
but nobody
hoping the rocket wouldn't explode within eyesight.
It's like, can you imagine their faces like, oh, witness relocation, really? It's like, no, you'll have good jobs. It's like, yeah, I guess.
And you can even keep your own real names, basically.
But you can't be astronauts anymore.
Yeah, but you never were anyway.
So hey, works out it's a win-win.
It's totally cool. Add some money in there, and
The point of a fake space program is you never want to put anybody actually on the top of a big pile of liquid explosives. And
why not?
And set fire to it, because it just doesn't. It's not a safe thing to do.
Just ask SpaceX.
You just ask SpaceX.
Bob Beldeck says he likes the movie The Village.
Village is a Shyamalan. Shyamalan has not his track record of he was only going to go down. I mean, his first movie got nominated for Academy Award. I think he won an Academy Award for his first movie.
M. Night Shyamalan or whatever. I can't ever say his last name. Oh, you know what I was just thinking about? Chris Rock, who I had on a few shows back of the Flat Earth Reality channel here. And you need to subscribe because he's so good. Plus, he's a musician. I forgot he told me this. Remember we were talking about Tiger Dan and the Bible proofs?
Yeah.
He says that he's got 118 Bible proofs that Tiger Dan cannot debunk. Cool.
Great.
Some repeat questions about Polaris are coming up. We already talked about those. Athabascamedia says information plus money equals controlled info for those who research flat earth and can't afford it. Careful of the Ike and Jones scenario. Oh, this person is saying about us and getting money from doing what we're going to be doing with the radio show.
Everyone will still have access to everything eventually. It's the only thing with subscription is for the archives. They usually have to wait a minimum 30 days and sometimes 60 days.
The money pays for the station to actually exist.
Yeah.
The people who created it, the people who controlled it. It's nothing like David Icke. It's nothing like Alex Jones. It's not owned by a major media company. It's not tied to any major media company. It's not a get rich quick thing. It's a way to do something outside of doing YouTube. Yeah. And additionally, we'll do YouTube. It's just a way to broaden the reach of Flat Earth.
Now, if we were told, for example, to join a radio thing and it didn't do Flat Earth, it's like, we want to talk to you, talk about aliens. It'd be like, why?
Then we'd be total sellouts. I would never do that. Yeah. Someone said, you need to be on a show. Oh, you're a good host. We want you to come on board Ancient Aliens. The answer to that would be no. No. Because that would be like the real show going on.
Yeah.
Joe Realites M. Night Shamalama Ding Dong.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Shamalama. I actually call him that whenever I...
You do? Shamalama Ding Dong?
No, I just call him Shamalama.
Shamalama Lama. Mr. Rich B.O.B. writes, I think Hebrews 11:3 is referring to both hells, paradise, heaven, earth, and the new earth after God rains down fire on the whole earth in end times. No matter how sad the judgment makes him, God can't change what has been spoken. And he says it makes him very sad.
Testify.
James Hicks Boson writes, what is the so-called gravitational waves they said they found? I'm thinking it's more like water rippling effects and reflection. What if the Bible is true? Just food for thought. I mean, the Bible has so much truth in it, but gravitational wave?
Sorry, what?
No, you go ahead. Gravitational
waves is just a piece of crap. You want to? I think Orphan Red did a great little thing on it where she was breaking down the company that did it. It's a science. They were up for budget review. And they hadn't been producing anything. So we've seen this time and time again in real life and television and movies. And that is when science organizations get to a certain point, they have to produce results. There's only so much, the funding will run out. And so, miraculously, we've discovered something that can be in mainstream media. Oh, we don't have any pictures of it. And the sounds
and I think later they came out and said very quietly that they really didn't discover them after all. Or something like that.
False positive.
False
positive, yeah.
Kitten Sackbrick Canal, my least favorite name in all of YouTube, but person who's pretty cool and writes great comments says, oops, it just disappeared from my screen. I hate when that happens. And what a great opener I had there. Oh, there it is. There it is. Got it. Why, when I start off from a set, as in a sprint race position, like ready, set, go, why am I not being advantaged or disadvantaged by the spin of the Earth? Good question.
Yeah, good question.
You're not, but that's another really good point to bring up when you're talking to people about flat Earth.
Yeah. There is no Coriolis effect. There is no spin. There's nothing we can determine. Even the was the Smarter Everyday video where they had a guy simultaneously, north and southern hemisphere. I think it was Smarter Everyday, right? Where they did the they were the first ones to say, look, the toilet's flushing and the sink's draining, absolutely inconsistent, and they had to do those big kiddie pools and do a thing in the center. That was a really good experiment. I gotta hand it to them. And they barely detected anything, even using food coloring on a big scale. Barely detected anything. That begs the question then. So why are we talking about Coriolis effect when it comes to bullets and artillery shells and missiles? And oh, by the way, on the Neil deGrasse Tyson, footballs being kicked and bouncing off the goalpost.
Please.
I'm
going to drop the gun on that one. All right. Good Mythical Morning, according to Mr. Rich, is awesome, but they've irked me. So I spammed the video with Brian Mullen's first episode of Falls Out Physics. Yeah, I mean, it's a great idea to, when you go do a kind of a truth bomb on someone, keep it cool, keep it nice, and then link a video too.
Yeah. Let's do one more. I got to get some meat. Unfortunately, I'm dying.
Yeah, 2 more, and I didn't even get to read emails.
2 more.
Someone says my focus on my cam isn't working. My camera just focuses on its own. It's a MacBook Pro. How do I look? Fine.
You look fabulous as usual.
It's got to be your. I don't have a focus on the camera. It's a MacBook Pro that's got a camera right there, so it doesn't do anything different. Right. People are saying the link that I put in description box for your channel isn't working. I've had issues with the links disappearing, and I will correct that when the show is done.
Okay.
Davira770 says, I'll miss you guys. We will still be free to watch.
We'll still be around.
Really,
don't worry about that.
And we'll still do stuff on YouTube. It's just an additional platform.
Yes.
And boy, I could continue, and I can't because we're out of time.
We're out of time.
And I had emails I was going to read, and I didn't. But I will let people know again. I want to do a show called Map-a-geddon about all the different maps, and we have Mark Knight of Wakey Wakey, who's volunteered to be one of the people presenting a map. And if you've got a map, I don't care what map it is, please email me at mssteere, MISSSTEERE @gmail.com and say you want to be on the Map-a-geddon show. And you'll have to actually be on a Google Hangout just like this with cameras and be able to present actual drawings, videos of your model and explain your model. And everybody on the panel will do that. And we'll just look at the different models and see what we can work out. I think it would be a very interesting show. The 20s map, the Studio, I'm saying that all wrong.
By the
map,
way,
Bitsy the cat.
Hi, Bitsers.
Oh, I heard that purr. That's one thing. And so that I don't have a date for that yet to come. And then there's the Gingerfest show, which is Redheaded Women of Flat Earth, this coming Wednesday, March 2nd at 5 p.m. Central Time on this very same channel. We've got some really great women. Check my channel for a promo for the show so you'll know who's exactly going to be in it. And it's a panel about the flat earth, but from a female perspective and a redhead perspective. Not that that matters. I just thought it would be fun to do Gingerfest. And then on Friday, we've got James from the band Full Action Family. He created a song for my YouTube channel out of the goodness of his heart. It's on my channel listed under songs. But He also started on YouTube going out on the street, kind of man on the street, not showing his face or other people's faces, and interviewing people about flat Earth. And he's transitioned from that to speaking about his experiences while driving a taxi. He's in London, and you know James as Mr. Flat Taxi Rainbow Chemtrails. And he's going to be my guest this Friday on Flat Earth and Other Hot Potatoes at 5 p.m. Central Time from his flat in London. Hey, Bitsy. So this has been a really great show, Mark. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
it's been fun.
Yeah,
we've got the 69 show in the can, so to speak.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah, we'll still have, again, don't miss us yet because we still have a few more of these to go.
We'll let you know as it progresses.
Yeah,
I mean, who knows? This whole thing could maybe not even happen.
Exactly.
But we wanted to let you know about it as much as we know about it at this point, just to keep you in the loop about what's going on.
Yep.
So I'm going to shoot you. Oh.
I'll shoot you.
And that's a wrap for this show.
All right.
Episode number 69 of Flat Earth and Other Hot Potatoes is done. Thank you for being a part of it. From Mark Sargent and I, keep it cat.